in continuation with the lecture series on principles of inheritance and variation, today we will discuss about linkage and recombination. Now, linkage is the tendency of some genes to always stay together during inheritance and also be inherited together. That is, we have already seen in the chromosomal theory of inheritance that genes are located upon the chromosomes in a linear order. So some genes, it so happens that they are so closely placed together that during inheritance, when they pass to the next generation, they move together, they remain together. This tendency of genes is known as linkage. And if, on the other hand, the genes do not remain together as they are placed at a distance from each other, they are not inherited together, but they separate out to form new combinations, then that phenomenon will be called as recombination. The concept of linkage was first put forward by Thomas Morgan and Alfred Sturtevant. They had worked on the fruit fly Drosophila. Now, two types of linkages have been studied: complete linkage and incomplete linkage. Complete linkage is the tendency when genes will always remain together. No recombination occurs at all. But of course, that is of rare occurrence in nature. The more common type is incomplete linkage, where there is a tendency of few genes to remain together over the generations, but at times they may segregate, they may separate out to form new combinations, but percentage will be very, very low. Now, low recombination will mean high linkage. That is, if no new combinations are formed, it will indicate that the genes are very tightly attached to each other or very tightly linked to each other. They are very close to each other. High recombination rate will indicate that the linkage is less. That means the genes are far away or at a distance from each other. Now, the most common example that we look for or we study to understand the concept of linkage is the sex-linked genes of Drosophila, which represents eye color and body color. Now, sex-linked genes means the genes which will be located, physically located only upon the sex chromosomes. All diploid organisms are made up of autosomes and sex chromosomes. All diploid organisms have chromosomes that can be categorized into autosomes and sex chromosomes. So sex chromosomes usually is a pair. In Drosophila also, likewise, they have a pair of sex chromosomes, and the genes located upon those chromosomes, they were studied. And there are two types of genes were studied for one experiment. Many experiments were conducted. This particular one, there were two genes were studied, one for eye color and body color. Here, eye color and body color located on X chromosome, specifically on X chromosome of the sex chromosomes, which are two types, X and Y. These genes are located on X chromosome. Eye color, two traits were seen in Drosophila. They were white. Some Drosophila had white eye color and some had red eye color. Some had yellow body color and some had brown body color. Now, little bit about the Drosophila. Now, Drosophilas, they are diploid organisms. The diploid number is 8, out of which 6 are autosomes, which are common for both males and females, same type of chromosomes, which will be carrying different types of genes, which will represent the different characters that they have. And they also have 2 sex chromosomes. Total, it makes up 8 chromosomes. Out of the sex chromosomes, the males, they have one X and one Y chromosome. These 2 sex chromosomes. Females, they have 2 X chromosomes. Now, the traits, the characters which we are going to study, eye color and body color, those genes are specifically located upon the X chromosomes. Now to look into the example, we have the sex-linked genes of Drosophila for eye color and body color. Eye color and body color genes are located on X chromosome. Eye color 2 traits, body color 2 traits, yellow and brown. Now it was already learned that white eye color represented by W is recessive, whereas red eye color is dominant. Here we are not using small letter and capital letter, but we are using W plus to represent dominant genes, and without the superscript we are using to represent the recessive trait. White is recessive, red is dominant, yellow is recessive, brown is dominant. Here dominant traits can also be called as wild types. Now to start with the cross, the parents, the females, they were homozygous. Initially pure lines were taken, so the parents, they were homozygous. The female, they had yellow body color and they had white eye color. Yellow body, white eye. Yellow body, white eye, homozygous. Males, they had brown body and red eye color. Brown body, red eye color, the males had. Here I have written pairs, okay, pairs of the genes, but here I have written single. The reason being, the females, they have 2 X chromosomes. So in one X chromosome, one gene for the body color and one for eye color. In the other X chromosome, one for eye color and body color and the other for eye color. But as the males, they have only one X chromosome, they will have only one each of these alleles. They will not have the other pair. The other pair will be missing in case of males, as they have only one X chromosome. So accordingly, the gametes will be formed. So these are the X chromosomes, okay, the gametes with the X chromosome. Now each gamete, as already mentioned, Drosophila has 8 chromosomes total, out of which 6 are autosomes, 2 sex chromosomes. So each gamete will have 3 autosomes and 1 X chromosome, sex chromosome. Females, they will have 3 autosomes and 1 X chromosome in each gamete, as all of them are with XX. In males, the case will be 3 autosomes plus X chromosome in 50% of the gametes, and 50% of the gametes will have the autosomes, that is 3 autosomes and 1 Y chromosome. Okay, so they are heterozygous organisms, the males. Now when we come to the cross, the F1 generation here, these are the female gametes, homozygous, the female gametes, X chromosomes. These are the male gametes, 1 X and 1 Y chromosome. The offspring formed are, the 4 possibilities are here. 2 females and 2 males are likely to be formed. The females, here you can see, now the female, we are getting a heterozygous condition where the dominant allele appears along with the recessive allele. Consequently, the females, both the females are similar. The females will be with brown body and red eye, as it is a heterozygous condition. Dominant alleles will express, that is brown body, red eye. Whereas the males, here though it's the presence of recessive alleles, but as they do not have an alternate allele, so definitely these are the ones which will express, and the males will now appear to be yellow body and white eye, both the male offsprings. So now we will just see the same cross in diagrammatic view, cross between yellow body, white eye female and brown body, red eye male. So these are the parental combinations. These combinations which I had written here, these are the parental combinations here. This is the male and this is the female. 2 X chromosome, 1 X and 1 Y. And these are the possible offsprings. The females, heterozygous condition, and the males, that is, of course it will be, we cannot say it is heterozygous, but the expression will be of the recessive alleles due to absence of the contrasting alleles. So now we will see the F2 generation. While going to the F2 generation, the points to be taken care of, that is, for the F2 generation, who will be the parents? The parents will be these, the F1 offsprings, female and male. A cross will be done between these two individuals, and their parents are these. So while we will come towards the conclusion, I will be reminding you once more about these four individuals. Okay, so we have to keep in mind these four individuals. I'll refer to them again later. Now coming to the F2 cross. Okay, to see the F2 cross, first just let us revise a little bit about F1 individuals and the gametes. These are the F1 individuals, females and males. Now what are the possible gametes that will be formed? From the female, the possible gametes, as already taught to you how to find out the gametes, I have found out the gametes in this manner. So possibilities are 4 types of gametes to be formed. Now the question arises here, why these type of gametes are formed? Why there is a mixture in the types of gametes? See, unlike like here Y W plus, then W Y plus. So here you can see W Y plus, Y W plus. So here there is a mixture of the gametes. This can happen only when crossing over takes place. So the mixture of the alleles can happen in the gametes. Then we come to the male gametes. Now male gametes, only 2 possibilities, one carrying the X chromosome and the other carrying the Y chromosome. There is no question of crossing over, as these 2 chromosomes are totally different. Now we see the offsprings. Here we write all the gametes of the female individual. These are the gametes of the male individuals. We are carrying out the F2 cross. Please remember that. So we get 8 possible offsprings. Now out of these 8 possible offsprings, 4 likely to be female and 4 likely to be males. Now when we look into the combinations of each of these individuals, here I have marked these 2 as yellow and the other 2, these 2 also as yellow. What does it indicate? These 2 indicates that a combination, the phenotype with this particular individual, what will it be? Okay, the phenotype of this will be yellow body and white eye. Yellow body, white eye, we had a parent already, female. Yellow body, white eye, male, we had in F1 generation. This we had in the original parents. This one we had in the F1 generation. Then what do we get here? We get here brown body, red eye. Heterozygous condition, brown body, red eye. Where did we get this? We got in the F1 individual. Here you can see we got in the F1 female. Then again, what do we get here? We get here brown body, red eye. Brown body, red eye male was found in the original parent. This individual and this individual, the first and the last one here, they are quite similar to the original parent. And here the second one out here and the 7th one out here, these 2 were found in the F1 generation. So we can consider these as the parental types. The rest 4, these 4 are new ones. Why? What will be the expressions here? Let us see with one more figure, it will be more clear to you out here. Okay, so out here, these are the male F2 generations, these are the female F2 generations. Same thing, these males are here, these females are here. Now when we see, okay, like brown red, okay, male, brown red male, here you get brown red male. Okay, then what do we get here? Yellow white male, here yellow white male. Okay, these are quite similar to the parents, F1 parent or the first generation, the original parents. Now coming to the female, same thing, whatever I told. So here you get brown red. Okay, these are F1 parent and this is the original parent out here. So these are parental combinations. Whereas here you can see this line, the ones which I have not colored with yellow. Okay, out here here you get a brown and white eye. Brown and white eye which never existed in the parents. New. This is a new one. New type of offspring. Similarly, yellow, red, new type of offspring, males. Then brown, white, new type of offspring, and yellow, red, new type of offspring. When is this condition possible? This condition will be possible when we get new gametic combinations as seen here. As already I told you, new gametic combinations will be possible only when crossing over happens during meiosis. This is expected during the cross. We expect it theoretically that 50% of the offsprings will be like parents, 50% will be with new combinations. But Morgan found that in reality it does not happen. In reality, it was seen that 98.7% of the total offsprings turned out like the parents. Only a very small percentage of 1.3 appeared to be new combinations or recombinant types. To explain this came out the concept of linkage. Morgan said that some genes, they are so closely placed together, like the genes for body color and eye color present in the X chromosome are so closely placed to each other that crossing over never happens. That means the new gametic combinations actually do not happen frequently. They do not happen frequently. Occasionally it might happen, but usually they do not take place. Why not possible? Because they cannot separate out. They cannot segregate out due to the physical closeness between these two genes. Consequently, we do not get new combination of offsprings. That is what was stated by Morgan, that in the parental type of combinations are retained in nature. So nature, whenever the body color is brown, the eye color will be red. Whenever body color is yellow, eye color will be white. They are always together. Whenever the eye color is brown, whenever the body color is brown, the eye color will be red, and whenever body color is yellow, eye color will be white. So this will remain. The new combinations are not seen very frequently in nature. So we can find out by taking out the percentage. Lesser the recombinant types, more are the parental types, that is the tendency of linkage is higher in these. Thank you.